Yardsale season is in full effect, and this is probably the best $5 I've ever spent. This PS4 came with the controller only. The lady who sold it to me said she didn't know whether it worked or not. She didn't have the cables to test it out, but I'm pretty sure whether it works or not, it's worth more than that. A few scratches and bangs here and there, and the controller could use some new thumb caps. When I tested it out, it appears to have a bad hard drive, and unfortunately no bonus game inside. So whatever happened to the $5 PS4? Naturally, I did all the work, filmed the whole thing, and then sat on the footage for about 7 months. So I thought about replacing the broken hard drive with a 1TB SSD for faster speeds, but it would have cost about $60 to do that. With M.2 drives about the same price, I saw an opportunity to replace this 1TB HDD in my personal rig with an M.2 and move it over to the PlayStation 4, still doubling the capacity. So to make sure that I got all the cracks and crevices clean, I went for a complete teardown of this system. Luckily not finding any traces of bugs or cigarette smoke or anything like that, just some old orange dust from age. Most of the parts were cleaned individually off screen. I used isopropyl alcohol for anything with electronic components. When it came to the bare plastic shells, I took those straight to the tub and used hot soap and water. I made sure those were completely dry before returning them. And for the grimy cooling fan, I used cotton swabs and IPA alcohol. So once everything was stripped down and cleaned, it was time to do the whole thing in reverse. I used cotton swabs and alcohol to get off all the old thermal paste, and a new dab of that on the processor means this thing should run like day one. Overall, it can be a little tricky in places the first time you do it, but it's not a bad teardown. Of course, those ratty thumbsticks on the DualShock 4 need to go. So just like the console, the controller gets opened up and cleaned with isopropyl alcohol. And I have plenty of these thumbsticks laying around because they're like 10 for a couple bucks on eBay. But a brand new hard drive is not going to work in the system without the system software installed. Thankfully, Sony makes it pretty easy to do this yourself and get a hold of it from their website. Once you format a spare flash drive, create a PS4 folder in all caps and an update folder inside of the PS4 folder in all caps. That's where you'll want to put your PS4 update.pup file that you downloaded from Sony. Make sure your flash drive is fully inserted, so when you reboot the PS4 in safe mode, if the system recognizes your newly installed drive, you can choose to reinstall the system software. Everything's working, including the Blu-ray drive. Success.